If you want to write an equation of the tangent line, you need the derivative. So here, before we get into part A, like this stuff right here, we need to first find y prime, okay? Because that's how we are going to get the slope. So I'll use the room over here. But what's the quotient rule? Quotient rule. Well, quotient rule states that y prime is gonna be g squared in the bottom, but on top you have gf prime minus fg prime. So you write that formula down somewhere so that we can use it. And let's identify our f's and g's and f prime and g prime, okay? So f prime, or I'm sorry, f is equal to, this is what f is. So I'll just circle it. So that's f. The top of the original function is f. And this down here, that's g. Okay, so that's g. I'll say this is f. And this is g. All right, so what's f prime then? F prime is going to be 2x minus 8. And g prime is going to be just 2x. Taking the derivative of the original top and the bottom. Now let's put this together in a nice quotient rule. The bottom of the fraction will be g squared. So that will be x squared plus 9. The original denominator simply squared. Okay? All right, we're on top of the fraction, and that's the tricky part. So I start with g, what used to be the original bottom of the fraction. So put that up top first. So I'll say x squared plus 9. And we multiply that by f prime, which is right there. 2x minus 8. Write the minus sign. And I'm going to multiply this by f, which is that orange. X squared minus 8x plus 5. And I'm going to multiply this by what? What's the last one? G prime. And g prime is 2x. And you know what? I'm going to stick that 2x in front of that trinomial. Okay, look. I'm going to stick that 2x right there. All right? Now let's simplify the numerator because we got some FOIL and we got some distributions to do. So y prime equals. Leave that denominator alone. This is just going to be what it is. I'll just copy it down. But now on top of the fraction, we need to FOIL. Okay, ready? So if you FOIL this, x squared times 2x, that will give me 2x to the third power. What's next? X squared times negative 8 minus 8x squared. Let's do the inner. 9 times 2x is 18x. And last, 9 times negative 8 minus 72. All right, let's distribute this negative 2. That will be negative 2x to the third plus 16x squared and minus 10x. Notice because this was a subtracting, everything inside this second parenthesis switched the sign, right? Now we're going to combine some like terms, and happy news, there's a positive 2x cubed and there is negative 2x cubed. Those will cancel out. What other like terms do we have? Well, there is negative 8x squared and there is positive 16x squared, so I'll combine those two. And I also notice there is positive 18x and minus 10x. So I try to color code these like terms. All right, let's write the final derivative, okay? So the denominator will stay the same. I'll just copy this down. But these two will cancel out, right? But if you combine these two green expressions, minus 8 and positive 16, you will get 8x squared, because that is 16 minus 8. Now, if you combine these brown things, that's 18 minus 10 right there, right? 18 minus 10 is 8. So I'll get 8x. And then lastly, this minus 72. They don't have a like term, but we still have to copy it down. Minus 72. Look at that. I don't know. I noticed that the numerator, all of them are divisible by 8. So how about I factor out the 8 to the front? So let me put that 8 in the front, and I'll get x squared plus x minus 9. And I don't think that can be simplified any further, but hey, we found the derivative. Now this is going to get us the slope of the tangent line, okay? So let me see if I have room to work on this problem. All right. So that's the derivative, and that's important, so I'm going to try to highlight this. This is the answer. Now they want us to find the slope of a tangent line at x equals 0. When x is 0, what is going to be the y value? Let's find the y first, because we need three things. We need x, y, and m. You can find what y is by plugging in 0 into the original function. So let's do that. So if I plug in 0 into the original function, I get 0 squared minus 8 times 0 plus 5 for the numerator. The denominator will be 0 squared plus 9. And that is 5 over 9. So that's the y value. Let's find the m value, the slope. Now, slope, you don't plug in the x into the original function, but you plug that into the derivative function. So here, you're going to plug in x equals 0. Okay, that's how you find the slope. So if you want the slope, find the derivative and plug in the x value they gave you. Okay, so that's going to be 8 parentheses 0 squared plus 0 minus 9 inside the parentheses. And the denominator, I'll get 0 squared plus 9 squared. What's that? Let's try that. The numerator will be 8 times negative 9. So I will get negative 72. The denominator will be 9 squared. So that will be 81. I can reduce this fraction to, if I divide both by 9, right? This becomes negative 8 over 9. So we got the slope. So we have the slope x and y. What I'm going to do is do the point slope form. Okay? So point slope form goes like this. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. We have the x1 value and the y1 value. So you're going to be plugging in this x1 of 0 into there, okay? And the y1 of 5 over 9 over there. And then the last one, the slope. We're going to plug in this slope of, what's the slope? Negative 8 over 9 into that place. So here's the answer. Y minus 5 over 9 equals, what's red? Negative 8 over 9, parenthesis, x minus 0. Now, that is the point slope form, but if you want to simplify this a little bit, we can definitely do that. So let's simplify this a little bit more, okay? I can distribute the right side. I mean, what? I don't really need to distribute. Hold on. Because subtracting 0 is just itself, right? So I can write it this way. And I can add this negative 5 over 9 to both sides, and have my final answer is, make it small just one more time, okay? Y equals negative 8 over 9x plus 5 over 9. So, you could have stopped right here. That's fine. I like that point slope form. But if you want to go a couple more steps and give me that other answer in slope intercept form, that's also okay too. but both are fine answers. I should do one more, but then the bottom one will be super easy. Okay, what makes these difficult is finding the derivative, because if you look at this one, they want us to find the equation of a tangent line at x equals -1 and y value of 7/5. They gave us the y already, we just need the slope. So let's find the slope of this tangent line using this derivative. So instead of plugging in x equals 0, they gave us x is -1. So plug in x equals -1 this time. That's how we're going to find the slope. So that will be fraction bar 8 times -1 squared plus -1 minus 9. That's the numerator. And the denominator will be -1 squared plus 9 squared. All right, ooh, let's simplify this mess. So this is going to be, let's try to do this slowly. Okay, I'll have 8 times 1 minus 1 minus 9. And the bottom will be 1 plus 9 squared. Right? Okay, I hope I'm not making any mistakes here. All right, let's see. So the numerator will be 8 times what? 8 times -9. And the denominator will be 10 squared, right? So the slope of the line will be -72/100. All right, I may simplify this by dividing both of them by maybe 4. I think 4 may work. If I do that, I will get, hold on, -72 divided by 4. How many times does it go in? 18. So I'll get -18/25. And I would say that is the slope of this tangent line. Okay? So we have x, we have y, we have m. So let's do the point slope form. So point slope form says y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Left side of the equal sign will be y minus 7/5. On the right side of the equal sign, we need to put the slope first, and the slope is -18/25, parenthesis x minus, what's the x1 value? -1. Oh, but if you do x minus -1, we can change that minus negative into plus. So that's how you can find the equation of the tangent line. But this problem, what made it difficult was, I guess, using the derivative, the quotient rule to find the derivative.